Welcome to Rated In. This is Matt.
And I'm Rachel. This is a conversational podcast between two married nerds. Almost married for 20 years.
Whoa.
Forthcoming in next week.
Thanks for putting up with me this long.
It's hard to believe. Not that I'm putting up with
No,
you.
I was going to say, some days.
No, more it's hard to believe that it's been 20 years. Anyway, we are currently in Port Uno, Japan. It may just be Uno, but we are also throwing distance from the port. So
We're looking at the fucking boat.
Yep.
That's the ferry that's going across to the art islands here.
Yep. So we are actually, though, not here to tell you about Port Uno today.
No, not yet. We're going to tell you about art islands later.
That's going to be another episode. But today we wanted to talk about Osaka.
You can't hear how big my smile is looking at these islands.
Yeah.
They're just these mountains pumping out of the sea.
It does look a little bit like, when you look at like you see on TV or whatever, kind of pictures of some of the places in Thailand and stuff, the sea, right? Where there's just those kind of green mountains that pop out of the ocean. That's a little bit what it looks like. We'll post some pictures.
Yeah,
to
there's
Instagram.
not cliffs.
No.
But, there might be some cliffs, but there's also some mining going on over there. But anyways, Osaka. We're going to talk to you about Osaka. We spent 7 days in Osaka.
Yeah, well, 7 nights.
7 nights in Osaka. It's hard to believe. We've been on this trip we left 13 days ago. We left Atlanta, Georgia.
We have walked a lot.
Yeah, you checked yours. You've walked even more than I have because you went to yoga a couple nights.
I know, yeah, and I walked to yoga. So, it's been hundreds of thousands of steps.
Yeah, so in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about our comparison and our thoughts between Tokyo, which we've been to previously. We were there 5 years ago between two different stays, or the front end and the back end. We were in Tokyo last time 5 years ago, and then we spent 5 days?
I think we were there for 5 nights. Yeah, but one of those nights was just travel recovery,
right? And then it was our first time in Osaka.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah. Last time we went all north. You can go back and listen to those episodes if you want. This time we're going all middle south.
Yeah, middle and south. And then in the second half of this episode, we're going to talk about food. So stick around if you like to hear about food.
We took the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Osaka, and no beers were exploded on this particular.
Yeah, you can listen to our old ones that we accidentally exploded a fruit beer all over the ceiling of the Shinkansen.
Oh my God, it was
from
everywhere.
Hakodate to Tokyo. That was embarrassing as shit.
Yeah, it goes down as one of the most epic. Epic spills. We can't even call it a spill, but epic spills I've ever had.
I might recommend look for kombucha bottle opening disasters.
Yeah,
and it might be similar.
Yeah,
it was impressive. Anyways, no, we took it easy on the thing. We were traveling with Rachel's mom.
Yep.
And we got amazing views of Mount Fuji.
Yeah, it was Fuji.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a fugue state.
Well, there's only one. Oh, I was thinking there's a few.
Oh. No, so it was clear, and the weather was lovely, so you could see it really well. Mm-hmm. You could see it for a good portion of the train trip. Highly recommend sitting in seat E if you want to see.
There's a two seats on the side. So if you're traveling as a couple, do that. If you don't mind not talking to your partner, get 2 E's.
Yeah.
The other thing that we took a bunch of pictures. You can check it out on our Instagram, _podcast, I think it is. There's tons of pictures on there if you want to see all the stuff we're doing. So, and then I write up some stuff at the end of the day, or periodically. But the thing that will not come across in those pictures, and you've seen plenty of pictures of Mount Fuji, and you're you don't need to look at our picture of Mount Fuji because there are going to be better ones on the internet. But it has this weight.
Yeah.
And it
really does have a presence.
Yeah. It's kind of right, if you've ever seen, when the moon is really low in the sky and you take a picture of it with your camera, but when you look at it low to the sky, you're like, that moon looks enormous. And you take a picture of it with the camera and you're like, that's all pathetic and tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a little bit like that. Yep.
Yeah.
It was. We took some fun video though too that gives you a sense of also how fast the Shinkansen is going.
Right.
Which is fun. It's really flying along.
I think one of the interesting things from last time, we're 5 years later. I think I was on a Pixel 4. Now I'm on Pixel 7. Maybe I was in a Pixel 2 actually. Maybe. It might have been a Pixel 2. I think I was borrowing. No, whatever. But it was 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
A number of generations of mobile phone. All my photos from the Shinkansen were like diagonal because the processor couldn't process the image quick enough. So everything was like skewed to the side.
I didn't
and
even
now
remember that.
all the pictures, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Technology.
Yep.
Crazy. Robots.
Yeah, like I feel like I was thinking about something else that's been really more helpful this time on my phone too, and I can't remember what it is. It might
Google Translate maybe, but
it might even just be like maps. And we used them last time too, but
yeah. I mean, definitely Google Maps is your friend. Also, I think one of the things where are you gonna add? I don't know.
Well, no, I was gonna say like I was so lost in Osaka all the time.
All right, we're talking about Osaka, right?
I was phenomenally turned around at any given second.
Even to the very end, you're like, we're going right? I was like, no, we're going left, like we've gone every time to get to the train.
Completely baffled every
7
time I
days.
stepped out of the door,
which is rare because you usually have a pretty good sense. Like Prague, Rachel had way better. I was constantly lost in Prague.
Yeah, no, I was like, so I did go out for coffee. But like the internet wasn't working on my phone and I was like, I'm going to get so lost. I'd walked 2 blocks and I was like terrified that I couldn't find my way back. So like I just kind of navigated to where I knew I wouldn't be able to get lost from, which was that shopping street, and was like, look, I'm going to a crappy coffee shop because I can't possibly navigate my way to a good one.
No, but precious moments.
Precious moments. Precious coffee moments.
Precious coffee moments. That's a classic. And also, like, you just needed to look for the Kit Kat store.
It did the job. Yeah. I mean, it turn right at the Kit Kat store, or left,
or east. Well, but that was maybe your problem. So, but
oh my god, it was hilariously bad.
Yeah. Well, you kept like every time I asked you where yoga was, you're like, "Oh, it's down by where we were last night with my mom," and I was like, "Oh, so it's south," and you're like, "I don't know," and then you'd show me on the map. I was like, "No, that's north. It's straight north. It's straight up the street." And then you'd be like, I think it was to the right. I was like, no, that's east. Like, that's the wrong. It's not even north or south. Like, it was really interesting to see that. So you did great. I'm glad you didn't get lost.
I know.
You did amazing navigating going to yoga on your own.
Yeah. I mean, yoga was a straight shot, and I did have the internet was working, so I did have my maps, so it was okay. I did yoga in Japan twice.
Yeah.
At a yoga studio.
I don't want to out any instructors that you had, but the one that you took all in Japanese, you seem to enjoy much more.
Yeah. Both classes were good. So if you're ever in Osaka and want to take a yoga class, Vancouver Sky, they have like a week-long tourist pass that you could get. It's easy to find. It's right by a station. It's easy to find even if you get as lost as me. And it is right by a train station, so that's nice. But yeah, I took one class that was in Japanese with occasional words of English, and then I took one class that was all in English, and I enjoyed them both. But I do think I liked the Japanese one a little bit better.
What did you say they were saying? Was it ikimasho or was it like gambate or something?
It was ikimasho. Yeah.
Okay. Like, well, we should go.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, do this thing now, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were going to talk a little bit on the front side here about the differences between Tokyo and Osaka. What are some of your first impressions of Osaka, and maybe compared to?
Yeah. So Osaka, there's a lot more people on bikes.
Yeah.
Significantly higher number of bikers.
That might be a little bit of where we were, because when I was in Japan like 9 years ago at this point for work, I went to a couple neighborhoods that we haven't really gone to, and there were a lot more bikes there.
Okay. Yeah, especially from, like, we were very much in a businessy district, and like in even a government kind of business district, the place we were staying in, Tokyo. So people were like people were taking trains, and there were a bunch of train lines that all converged there.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of people riding bikes.
I would say more people riding bikes for sure, but like I think once you get out of some of the city center stuff in Tokyo, you see a lot more bikes. But yeah, a lot of bikes. I would agree. The metros or there was actually the Osaka Metro is what it was called, right? Their subway system, really good. 9 lines. We took 6 of them, I think. We sort of went out of our way the last day to take one
that we hadn't taken.
Yeah. But I would say the difference between Tokyo and Osaka, at least where we were in Shimbashi and the places that we went in Tokyo, there was basically like a 7-minute walk to a train station. And then here, it's like a 10 to 15-minute walk. It was always just a little, not here, because we're not in Osaka anymore, but in Osaka. And maybe, again, that was where we were, but there was like 6 different lines within a 15-minute walk of us.
Yeah. So it was, I mean, I think our location was really good.
Yeah.
I could walk to yoga, which was like a kilometer, but it was a pleasant walk. I mean, Osaka is really flat.
Yeah.
So maybe
Especially
that also
where we
explains
were.
the bikes.
Yeah.
So it's really easy
good point.
it's really easy to get around on foot. In addition to, the train and stuff.
The vibe was different.
It's more casual for sure.
It seemed, yeah.
Yeah. Even like, because there are still a lot of business people like out in suits and stuff, but even that, they seemed slightly less formal. I don't know. Yeah, it just did have a more casual vibe.
Yeah. Now, we didn't really learn any of the local dialect. Kansai region supposedly has a little bit different, although they generally, all the people in the shops spoke standard Japanese.
I mean, my Japanese is really shitty at this point, so like, tackling another dialect would not probably stick. I'm just trying to keep up with my 25-year-old lessons.
But some of that was is them being a little bit more casual or something too, right? Oh, and the other one, like kind of infamously or famously, like in Tokyo, when you go on escalators, you stand on the left. In Osaka, you stand on the right. In the U.S., you stand on the right, generally. Or you hope people do. And same thing in the U.K., I think it's on the right.
Yeah.
And, but then strangely, we were in Okayama, which is a little bit southwest of Osaka on our way to Port Uno here. And we took one escalator and everybody was on the right. That's probably because everybody was coming from Osaka.
Probably.
And then when we went back to the train station, everybody was on the left.
It's baffling to try to figure out what side of the street to walk on.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. And then you add bikes, because there are a bunch of bikes here, too. I'm just constantly getting it wrong. And then yelling at Rachel for getting it wrong.
Not yelling, but...
No, yeah.
Trying to...
Nudging.
Trying to nudge, yeah.
Right.
It's been more nudging than pulling this time. That's been nice.
Right. Well, I was mostly just trying to, stay out of the middle.
Yeah.
Is the thing, because that's where the bikes usually go. Or, here the bikes go on the left.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Always leave a passing lane.
I would say, okay, this is from Okayama and Port Uno, not Osaka. So it's an aside, but all the old people that I've seen have been very friendly towards us. Sometimes, older people in Japan, they are not big fans of tourists or of outsiders, but every old person that I've seen today has given me a big old smile.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're outside the city centers and such, right? Well, because we didn't get a bad vibe but when we were in this little tiny town, Oyama,
It was
in
Oyama.
northern Japan.
We got the dirtiest look from an old lady. I mean, it was really, truly impressive.
She went out of her way to get in our way while walking across the street. It was so funny.
Full on evil eye.
Well, at the same time, we had little kids riding bikes that passed us 7 times because they were just looking at the weird foreigners. Because we were in this little tiny town, there was no reason for us to be there.
Other than adventure.
Yeah, adventure, so we could ride the little local line.
That's great.
So Osaka, what else? What are some of the other takeaways? What are some of the things we did?
Yeah, it's interesting because we did a couple of day trips from Osaka, so we're going to talk about those separately.
Hopefully we'll have a separate podcast on that.
Yeah, we'll have a different episode about Kobe and Kyoto.
Yeah.
All of which are very short train rides from
yeah.
Osaka, so you can really easily base yourself there, which I think is a little bit less tourist-centric than Kyoto.
Yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed being in Osaka.
Yeah.
Now, we did go to Dotonbori, which is you've seen this all over the YouTubes, if you do any Japanese YouTube Osaka stuff. We didn't make it to Amerikamura, which is sort of another, neon street, which we maybe should have tried to get over there, but we went through the Dotonbori area, I think is what it is, but it's basically a little canal river that runs through the city.
It's like a weird combination of if you've been to San Antonio and the Riverwalk, smash that together with Las Vegas, or maybe Reno. We'll just say Reno, not even Vegas.
Having never been to Reno.
We'll smash that together with Reno, and that is kind of Dotonbori. It's like this Riverwalk, but it is also
all these bars,
over the top neon,
but also just so many people.
Yep.
And it connects shopping streets to shopping streets and all these bar streets, and we walked through there. It was kind of fun, and we were just I think we're done.
Yeah, it was worth a walk through. Now we were with my mom, and it was late, and we were all pretty tired.
Yeah.
There were a couple of side streets that had what seemed like cooler, small places. And actually, we went and got Thai food kind of off one of those smaller streets
we
later
went back.
on.
Yeah, and it was fun.
And that was fun. But, if I was 23...
yeah,
some of the clubbing stuff probably would have been super fun.
Yeah,
but
there are. I did tag
at 45,
a couple
I'm just
punk bars that were down there that we just didn't do.
Yeah,
we were more into being chill. We actually watched a bunch of Dead Boy Detectives. If you haven't watched Dead Boy Detectives and you like Sandman or Lockwood or any nerdy supernaturally sort of stuff, definitely watch that shit.
Please do, because otherwise Netflix won't make another season of it, and it's so fun.
Yeah, it's good. So we were just doing some more chill stuff, but we were still walking 20,000 steps.
Yeah, we were there for 7 nights, so I felt like we had space, and that's the nice thing about the length of this trip. That we're just really fortunate to be able to take, is that there is time to have downtime, right? I mean, not that we have not that we were. I had one day where I was I didn't really walk that much today. It was a pretty chill day, and then I looked at my watch and it was you did 19,000 steps. I was fine.
I think I've only had two 20,000 steps. You've had 4.
Yeah.
Because you were walking to yoga. So the part of the reason we can have this long trip is Rachel has the summers off. Well, parts of the summer off because she teaches.
Yeah.
And I work for a technology company, and I'm working a handful of days while we're here, and we have a good holiday or a good vacation policy, and I've been there for 10 years. So we can make it work.
Right.
And we're also trying to do some things. We're going to get into food here in a little bit.
Right.
But we've done some things to make things a little bit less expensive. And also, you've probably seen some of this on the internet if you're paying attention and you're at all interested in Japan travel, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Is the yen is not very strong right now, and the dollar is pretty good against it in particular, I think.
Yeah, so it's affordable. Everything's really affordable.
Yeah. I saw this. I probably talked about this in the last episode. I apologize if I did. That was 10 days ago. I can't remember that far ago. But there's something with their economic policy that I do not understand. But because of their population and their economics and how their federal bank handles things, they've kept a really relatively low inflation. In fact, they're kind of fighting against deflation. And so as a result, a lot of things haven't gone up in price in a real long time. And more recently, they've started going up a little bit. So when we were here 5 years ago, we were getting a bowl of ramen for 1,000 yen. Mm-hmm. And now we're getting a bowl of ramen for 1,000 yen. 5 years ago, we were getting a bowl of ramen in Atlanta for $12. And now we're getting a bowl of ramen in Atlanta for $15, $16.
Yeah, that's
And then
true.
you add a tip, you add a drink, and your drink is going to be $8 or $10 in Atlanta. Here, your bowl of ramen is still 1,000 to 1,200 yen.
Right.
And your beer is still 500 yen. and that's going to turn into like $10, $12.
Yeah, you can get a really solid meal for.
We had a bonkers meal tonight.
Yeah.
So again, we're in a real smaller town here. We're basically a pass-through point to these art islands that are down here. We went out to sushi. We had, we counted out, it was like 8 courses or 7 courses for 2 of us with drinks, and it was like $62.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So they're like the dollar is great here, but it's also like just sort of their economy works different here.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that is one of the ways that it's also been more affordable. But we we stayed in pretty inexpensive places, both in Tokyo and in Osaka.
And we booked some of these things 6-7 months ago to get good prices.
I booked the Osaka place over like Black Friday because Booking.com was having a deal, and so I got like super good prices.
I think it was half off.
The place that we're staying next, I think, like right now it's listed as like 32 or 33,000 yen a night. But I think we're paying like 22 again because of when I booked it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, also book early because this place I got a 25% discount by booking like 4 months out.
Yeah, and this is again we'll talk about these more later.
Yeah.
But like this is a really nice hotel. I mean, and yeah, so I think the place in. I think it was like $60 or $70 a night ultimately for us in Osaka, which is part of the reason that we were there longer. And as we get to Matsuyama, we found a hotel that's only $50 a night that has great reviews. We'll report back if it's actually good or not. But
right.
in Osaka,
I think it's a Comfort Inn.
We had laundry, which is always great. We had a kitchen, which was poorly equipped. But we went to the 100 yen store and solved that problem for $17.
That's a great story, yeah.
And, we did actually cook a few different meals there to, again, make things a little bit cheaper, but also, like, eating out in Japan does not involve a lot of vegetable.
No, yeah, fair amount of fried, fair amount of things. We're going to talk about food here in just a minute. But let's talk about some of the tourist things we did do.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right, we walked through Dotonbori. That's free. You just walk around and look at crap. We went to Osaka Castle.
We did.
We figured out a pretty good, similar hack that we had in Budapest that we realized.
We got to Osaka because we weren't really sure what we were doing with ourselves that day. Matt was working in the evening, and so we hadn't really planned anything in the morning. So we're like, we'll just go over to Osaka Castle. We got there, and there was a line that was, I don't know, maybe a block or a block and a half long. It was like squiggly, but like I think if you stretched it all the way out, it was probably that long. And I was like, I don't feel like waiting in this line to get into this castle.
Yeah.
But we stepped to the side, like into a shady spot, like 20 meters away, and we're just like, can we buy tickets online? And indeed, we could buy tickets online for right that moment. And then, so like...
then we just walked up. There was one person in front of us in line.
5 minutes later, we had our tickets. And other thing, if you go to Osaka Castle, which I actually do recommend, it was lovely. It was really cool. You got some really good views of the city. Don't wait for the elevator. That was another ginormous line.
Just as long of a line.
The stairs are actually not that bad because there's something to kind of look at on every floor. So you walk up one flight of stairs and then you look at some paintings or look at some historical documents.
And it's an old wooden building, so none of the floors are very tall.
Yeah, and then, don't wait for the elevator unless, of course, you're mobility challenged or whatever. Yeah. But, like, if you're not, just go with the stairs.
Just take your time.
Yeah. But yeah, that worked out great. And I'm really happy that we did actually make it in there. But I definitely was not willing to wait in a
thing to call out
in a line for an hour.
If you haven't been to Japan and you're thinking about going to Japan, it is the land of stairs. There are a lot of stairs here. Like if you have mobility issues, just be patient. There's if you can, right? Because not everybody can, obviously. But there's going to be literally like 100-year-old people walking up the stairs that are going real slow, and nobody gives them a hard time. Yeah. They just take their time. Sometimes I get behind those people on purpose because I want to take my time. And you just go up the stairs. People go around you. Everybody's polite. But there are going to be stairs. If you're carrying luggage, you're going to be humping a suitcase up and down multiple flights of stairs to get wherever you're going. If you're using the metro, anything. There are elevators. You need to look. We could have looked better with your mom. But also, I would say, like, cabs, they can be expensive, but if you're not going very far, it was about the cost of 4 people to ride transit.
Yeah.
So it was well worth it for us to take it for 3 of us.
Yeah.
Because it was more convenient.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes if it's hot or rainy or whatever, right? Or if you've hit 20,000 steps and you're just tired.
Yeah. So don't be scared of cabs. Don't try to take a cab from the airport.
And Uber works in the cities. Like it worked in, I doubt there's any Uber now that we're out of the cities, but like,
there's like Go Cab here or something. There's plenty of apps.
Yeah. But like, I didn't even need to get a new app for Tokyo or Osaka. Like I could use Uber for both of those. So
although your mom and I figured something out that one night we were all exhausted coming back from Kyoto. We just couldn't figure out the trains, and we were going to have to walk, and we were all just so tired.
I was too tired to figure out how to work an ATM.
Yeah. So
the ATMs do not work differently here.
We got in a cab. It was a little bit of an effort to get them to understand where we were trying to go. Rachel was awake enough to realize while we were in the car, we should have retranslated the address into Japanese and showed it to him instead of trying to show
Google Translate.
Yeah, in Google Translate. So, but we got in the car, and then you just used the Go Cab app, and you just scanned a thing that was in the car, and then it paid for it. So it was so easy.
That was nice. So yeah, there's, and that's a good thing to know. Like if you download that app, that you can pay for a cab that you get into, not one that you have to call.
So we just walked around a lot. We stayed in Shinsaibashi, which is sort of the shopping district. Technically, we were in another thing called like Honmachi or something like that, which was a little bit above it. But it was in that area. There's all these shopping streets, Shotengai, I think they're called. We just went to some of them to go to some of them. And they were kind of fun. Yeah,
and so we went to one that was... All right, we went to one that was a little bit older and kind of funkier that Matt wanted to go to. Well, just older and more... It was more like groceries and that kind of stuff. We went there with my mom.
It was like considered retro.
Yeah. And then after my mom went home, we went to like kind of the artsy neighborhood.
That
and
one
walked
was
around
fun.
there.
There was a bunch of cafes and like some shops.
I sort of wish we would have done that one with my mom because I think she would have liked it. But the other thing that we did there was our first like public onsen. Because we talked last time about how much we like onsen, but we had really only done them in hotel kind of settings, which is different than, just walking into a public place and paying, 600 yen, which is, $3 at this point?
No, like 5 or something, but...
4? I think it's 4.
But hopefully we'll do a whole episode on onsen.
Yeah, so, but that was a cool thing that we did and that I felt like we conquered. There were a few things that I think, like, were challenging for language barrier issues and also just like am I going to be able to figure this out, and one of them for me was taking the yoga classes, and then one of them was also the actual public baths, right? Because that's it's not really a tourist space, unlike the onsen at the hotel, which we're going to do after we finish recording this podcast. But like everybody sort of figures that there's going to be tourists in there, right? Because you're at a hotel. Right.
Yeah, it was the Sento, the public bath was a challenge. I'm glad we tackled it. But we should take a break because we're at like 30 minutes. We should come back. We should talk briefly about food, and we'll let people get back to their days. But we're excited you're listening to this far.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, so we spent a week in Osaka. We ate a bunch of food. We ate a couple meals at home. We had breakfast at home almost every day.
Yes.
What are your what stands out?
So the first okonomiyaki that we went to,
we had 2 okonomiyaki.
Yeah, which are like cabbage pancakes. That sounds...
It's a savory, cabbage pancake with a bunch of toppings.
Yeah.
They sometimes called like Japanese pizza, but that's not right.
No, it's
no,
nothing,
it's not
it's
pizza.
nothing like pizza. Although I did get cheese on mine both times.
Yeah,
you know, I approve of that.
But we went to this Hanaya.
Yeah, Hana. Whatever it was.
But Hana was the one cooking the okonomiyaki in the back. Yeah,
and that. It's obviously relatively famous because there are pictures of all these celebrities on the walls, like totally random celebrities, like Anthrax and Fall Out Boy, and then of course
a bunch of J-pop and
Japanese bands that I don't know,
and K-pop,
like sumo wrestlers and like
geisha
football players, soccer, So, like, that was kind of fun.
That was a fun experience. We were with your mom, too. It was the first night in Osaka. We went to that.
And
then we went to that awesome bar.
That was really good. Okonomiyaki, I really liked mine. I got cheese and pork and...
the cabbage.
Cabbage, yeah. Maybe that was it. No, kimchi.
Oh, kimchi. Right. Yeah,
the kimchi was nice in that one, actually.
Right.
That was a good addition. So
I had corn and green onions.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Hey, if you want to know what okonomiyaki is, it won't be as good as what you're going to get in Osaka, but you can go to YouTube. We've got a SSD Press as our YouTube channel. No, maybe it's called Rated In now. I think it's called Rated In. I changed it. Rated In on YouTube. I've got a video on how to make okonomiyaki. It's pretty easy.
Yep, it is. Okonomiyaki was a highlight. Especially because we had two last night. We had like a tomato one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that tomato one, but we were both pretty full.
We were not super hungry when we got there, so that was a downside. And yeah, as Matt said, there were a couple of really cool. There were so many really, just Japan.
Yeah,
you and your really cool bars.
Yeah.
3 highlights of places where we had drinks. We had drinks at that place that did the homemade kombucha. That place was super adorable and fun. I almost stopped on my way home from yoga last night, but I was just really tired. So I didn't. It was also empty, and I was like, maybe they're trying to wind down. We went to a record bar that had like soul music. It was like a soul music bar.
And the guy with the greatest style.
Yeah, really good style. And we took some fun pictures there that are, I think, on the Instagram too.
Not of him, but he had like greaser hair and this amazing like patterned velvet jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. That place was great. It was super chill. I really wanted to go back and it just didn't end up working out. And then one night down in Dotonbori, before we went and got Thai food, there was just a place that said like whiskey and cocktails. So we went upstairs and that was like,
oh yeah.
Japan has all of these like tiny bars, right?
Yeah, that's how I was going to try to explain.
On multiple different floors of restaurants, like that floor where we went into this tiny bar, there were 3 other tiny bars. This tiny bar had maybe 8 seats.
Yeah.
I think they didn't have a menu. They only did whiskey and cocktails. So Matt got a whiskey and I got a gin and tonic. They hand carved Matt's ice cube
into a diamond kind of thing. Yeah, it was gorgeous. I kind of wish I would have gotten a cocktail because the cocktail looked pretty nice that I had on the other side.
It was. I mean, the whole thing was just painted black.
And the
2 bartenders were very stylish,
like Black Mirror.
It was fabulous, and it was just like, just a thing that you stumble into. And again, there were 3 other bars on that floor.
Yeah.
Of probably varying quality, but then there were 6 other floors in that building.
Yeah. Well, we went up to 2 more floors, or one more
floor
to go to the Thai place. But calling back to the land of stairs.
Yeah.
So we were walking down. So to get to the place, we were looking at the map, and I was like,
Thai restaurant.
To the Thai restaurant.
Place,
yeah, to the Thai restaurant. I was like, okay, we need to go down this alley. And when I say alley, I could probably stretch my arms out and touch both sides of the place.
Yeah.
And every 25 feet, 30 feet was another building. Maybe every 30 feet was another building. And then each one of those buildings was like 2 to 7 stories.
And all of those stories have little businesses and little bars and little restaurants.
So we just start going up, and the stairs are definitely not U.S. code stairs.
No.
They're narrow and steep.
Nowhere is required to have railings.
No, right. So again, be ready for stairs. If you can't do stairs, there's plenty of places that are on the floor, on the ground floor.
There's plenty of places that have
and
elevators,
there are
too.
some places that have elevators. Because I've also heard stories of, like, you push a button trying to go to one place and the doors open and you're just, like, in the bar.
Yep.
And, well, that's what that sake place was in Sapporo that we went to.
Yeah, and I tried to go to a place in Shibuya that was also the same.
Oh, you just walked in. So, but we're walking up the stairs and Rachel is like, there's just a door. It has a black door that just said the name of the bar on it. And Rachel's like, do I knock? Do I go in? I was like, I think we should go in.
Yeah.
It
is a little bit intimidating.
Yeah,
but
it is intimidating.
Nice.
Just do it. Yeah.
Once you get inside, like, and yeah, then we went upstairs one more floor to the Thai place.
Delicious.
And that place had also, I think, 8 seats.
Yeah. Maybe that had 10, maybe, but yeah.
It was like 2 people working there. One person was like waiting tables and washing dishes and cooking, and the other person was making drinks and waiting, not tables, waiting counter.
Yeah.
And doing dishes, like.
Yeah, I would add
tiny.
another place, and maybe we're going to get to this. The same night we dropped your mom off, we just put in like sake, or we put in nihonchu, which is like Japanese liquor. I think we were talking about this last time. So it was a little sake bar, so we just went, and there's just like we didn't know. We just went in, and the guy was like a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of English, and we were a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of English. And we asked the standard osusume, nihonshu, osusume, okudasai, which is like, what's your recommendation? And he was like, okay, do you want, it was like, durayu, suitu, suito, or storongu, and the other one was like fresh, the other guy said. You have to kind of get over, you're not being a racist by saying things in a weird Japanese accent. Like, if you say the United States, they'll just look at you, and if you say United States or whatever, they'll be like, oh yeah, but really they don't call it that here. They call it America. Like, we're so used to not calling it America.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to call it here, because when you try to say it the other way, like, A, they're not going to understand United States, and then you might have someone else in the bar translate it to a version of United States that's in Japanese accent.
Yeah.
It's all consonant vowel. Just remember that. But he, then he brought over like a couple bottles and was like, "Which one do you want?" And then we noticed that other people there were just like walking over to the cooler and pulling out a bottle and bringing it over or handing it to him, and then he would pour the drink.
So they didn't pour it themselves, but they would just pick out the bottle that they wanted and give it to him,
fun.
and he would pour them. Yeah, so we did that 2 places, I think, that night.
The second one, we also didn't pull it out of the thing because it seemed a little different. But I really enjoyed that place. That we got a little bit of snack there.
Yeah, that was good. We left a little bit sooner than maybe we otherwise would have, because I really had to go to the bathroom, and it only had a traditional Japanese toilet, and sometimes I'm fine with them, and sometimes in some situations I'm not. So we had to jet to go find a better public restroom.
I want to give a shout out. We're talking about food, and the end result of food is the bathroom.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Life Where I'm From. I think it's called Life Where I'm From. He's a Japanese, he's Canadian. He and his sister-in-law generally do these YouTube videos about all sorts of things in Japan. But they recently did a couple video series about the bathrooms in Japan, and that like Japan might have the most toilets per capita, public toilets per capita, at least in like the Tokyo area. And also explain why like bathrooms are so much more expensive in Canada and the United States versus in here. But there is basically a public bathroom within
you can find
accidental
them very
business
easily,
distance,
which is nice. And all the stations have restrooms, and it's not like a bus station.
No, they're all
restroom
relatively
in the United
clean.
States. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to eat off the floor.
No, but like
you don't feel like you need to take a shower after you leave.
Yeah, they're not gross. But always do remember, like, they very rarely have paper towels. So we carry hand towels with us.
Everybody carries hand towels here.
Yeah.
You see them, everybody's, the locals just pull it.
Yeah.
Also, not soap very often. Sometimes you just get a water.
I think soap is more common now since COVID.
A little bit, but it's plenty
But
of the
there's
men's
still
bathroom
plenty of
didn't have
places that
any.
don't have them, So I have like hand wipes, and I also have just a towel to dry my hands in my bag at all times.
So little bars, would say, agree, the best.
It's
just
the greatest.
so nice. The people in them are very friendly. And like, yeah, just get a little snack, get a little drink, get a little hangout.
Yep.
And it's good. We did do a teppanyaki, which is like getting the fancy Japanese beef
steak
on a grill, like a griddle. Nice experience. They were very polite, very like professional in the way they do everything.
It was definitely very much a tourist place.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever.
We were in a tourist area.
Like sometimes you.
Yeah, we could get a reservation. It was a good time. It was a good location. Yeah. It was still good. It was interesting that you get like different levels. We did like a sort of like the good, better, best. We didn't do the super amazing.
They were sold out of that one.
Oh, right. And you could tell the difference. I would definitely do the specialty, which was like the best.
Yeah, because I did like the lower fat one. Just because I was like concerned about it having like a giant fat cap, which is not like my favorite.
I don't think you're going to get like that's. I think the thing I realize now. I didn't know this then, but the higher quality is not going to have a fat cap. The fat is going to be super distributed.
Right. So go for the higher quality, even if it's higher fat, because it's not like that. Because we had tonkatsu in Tokyo, and that had
oh my god, that was a giant chunk of fat.
Had a really big fat cap, which was neither of our. Well,
we don't know if that was the lean or it was probably the lean, not the fillet or something.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So
yeah,
okonomiyaki, tiny bars, steak. We had some ramen one night.
I really liked that ramen.
I liked the ramen too. It just it was a little bit oniony for me because it had a couple different kinds of fresh onion on it.
Yeah. Mine had uni, so like sea urchin mixed through it, and it was just like so rich. It was so good.
Yeah, that was literally like underneath our apartment.
Yeah.
So that was incredibly convenient.
Yeah. We had a couple meals at home. Like we said, we made breakfast.
We bought a ton of stuff at Muji. We bought gyoza and ramen at Muji, and we had vegetables, and we just had like, I mean, it was not a fancy dinner, but like when you only have like one pot, the extent of your fanciness that you can cook is pretty limited.
I would say I've not had anything that hasn't been good. I've had some things that I've maybe had better.
No, I mean, because even like we ate in Osaka at like like this Zen whatever place, and it's just like it's just like set meals. You can choose from one of like 12 or whatever.
I can't say it's the equivalent of Japanese Denny's because there is a Japanese Denny's. It wasn't a family restaurant, which is a specific thing here, but it was like I don't know what the equivalent would be.
It's like some kind of like fresh fast food place, right? So it's not like a hamburger place, but like
it might be like a Fresh 2 Hour or something like that.
A Metro Fresh, or like like somewhere where you can go and get like a variety of things that are fresher, but also still come out super quick and are very
quality,
right? But like very like what's the word that I want? Just like kind of basic, right?
Yeah,
like a little bit of hashtag basic. So I got like a stir fry and karage and rice and miso soup, and it was perfect. It was not fancy, but it was super easy to order. It came super quick, and it was very satisfying.
Right. So those that are folks that are worried about ordering, we talked about this a little bit in the Tokyo one. Like a lot of times, have 1,000 yen bills
for ramen.
Ramen, but a lot of times you'll just pay at a little kiosk before you go. You use Google Translate, you'll figure it out. Just pick the ones that are near the top. You'll get something good. But we've gone to a couple places where you go, and they're not like chains. They're like some of them are little local joints. Some of them are chains, but you just scan a little code when you get there, and then it opens up a menu. That menu might be in Japanese, but if you're on an Android, I can't speak to Apple, but Android will auto-translate your web pages. So you're just looking at it in English effectively, and you just order right from there. You put in the order. It just makes it very manageable.
Yeah, and like, tonight we just, and because we're pretty flexible about what we'll eat, it's easier to do, but tonight we just ordered like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is the set meal. It's this price, we know that it has nigiri, and we'll just get it. And
Yeah.
it was great. But you have to kind of be willing to be like, I'm just going to eat what they put in front of me.
That first round of ground fish that was vaguely pickled was an interesting intro. I enjoyed all of them, but I don't think...
I actually surprisingly enjoyed them too. The cooked one was kind of my least favorite. But, but yeah, it was weird. I don't know what it was, but
no, it was basically like 3 little lumps of ground up something.
Yeah,
that and you're like, all right,
vaguely fishy. Yeah, you
know. So just try, give it a go. Also, be willing to eat corn salad for breakfast if you go to a breakfast place.
Oh, we're going to talk about breakfasts here soon because we're going to have some fancy Japanese
Good
breakfasts.
Yeah,
we've up to this point just had onigiri from 7-Eleven or Matt's Fabulous toast, cheese, ham, egg breakfast and a smoothie. But we're getting into some fun hotel breakfasts over the next couple days. Yeah,
but for now, we've taken up enough of your time. Thanks for listening. We're going to come back with some more stuff. Well, we got art islands ahead of us.
So we're going to talk about the coast. I think
the inland sea, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, maybe we'll do one on just the whole inland sea. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here on the coast. We're going to be hitting the art islands.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. No, I don't know about do yourself a favor. You might be interested. Look up Japan art islands, and that is kind of what we've modeled this trip around. Our last trip we modeled around. Hokkaido and the Jellyfish Museum in Tsuruoka. Aquarium Museum. And
they're living jellyfish, so it's an
So
aquarium.
this one was really about, we wanted to go to Osaka because we hadn't come to Osaka last time. We were trying to avoid it because of the crowds. I would say you go to the big tourist areas, there's a lot of tourists, amazingly. You don't go to the big tourist areas, there's not that many tourists.
Yeah. Yeah, it did not... other than the castle, like nowhere in...
Dotonbori
was
Dotonbori. The bonkers.
Yeah, that was...
That whole shopping area street.
Yeah, Vegas. Like, and all the people going out to the clubs and...
I'm glad we did it. Not our jam.
Right.
But like, just go to some smaller stuff.
Like the area of town with all the, like, kind of coffee shops and, like, the onsen and the, you know, funkier shops.
There was at least a third of the people there were foreign tourists, but it was chill.
Yeah, because there just weren't that many people.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you're looking forward to hearing a little bit more from us. If you know people who want to go to Japan, share this podcast with them.
Yeah. Ask us if you have any questions.
Yeah.
Oh, check us out on Instagram. This is the outro too, but the outro is so old. Anyways, it might mention our Twitter that we did cancel our Twitter like 2 years ago when Elon Musk became Elon Musk.
Fucking guy.
But anyways, Instagram, lots of pictures. RainItIn_podcast. Also Facebook if you don't do Instagram. Also RainItIn-podcast, but just do RainItIn podcast, you get us. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll have some more.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to Rain It In, Matt and Rachel. You can check us out on Instagram at RainItIn_podcast or Facebook at RainItIn_podcast. We encourage you to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, or you can listen direct at anchor.fm/RainItIn. Thanks again for listening. Have a great day.